So you got the vaccine. You either received Moderna or you received Pfizer vaccine. Maybe you have already received your second dose, or maybe you just received your first dose. What does that mean? Can you go back to work? Can you go and travel? Can you be in a small place with other people without wearing any mask? We'll talk about it in this video. As we know that Pfizer and Moderna both are 94 and 95% effective. So there's a strong chance that once you receive the vaccine, you're thinking that, okay, I'm immune to it. I probably will not get the coronavirus, and I can go and continue my life like I did before the coronavirus started. But we have to be really cautious because there's a lot of things that we don't know about, a lot of different things that people are still investigating, scientists are still investigating. So we have to wait for those things to come out before we really stop wearing masks, start going to small places, gathering inside, and also traveling and also going back to work. One of the problems that we have right now is a lot of people believe that as soon as you take Moderna or Pfizer vaccine, you're immune to it. That is not true. Pfizer have said that you have to wait at least 22 days before the first immunity is built up. Some people start to build up the immunity between 12 to 20 days, but just to be safe, they're saying it takes around 22 days after the first vaccine dose for them to actually have any immunity. But you need to receive your second dose, and you must get the second dose. If you don't get the second dose, that whole immunity is not going to be built up the way Pfizer or Moderna really intended. So it's really important that after you receive your first vaccine dose, that you go back to the same provider to get your second dose. For Pfizer, you can get second dose after 21 days. For Moderna, you have to wait 28 days. So after 28 days of receiving your first dose for Moderna, you have to go back and get your second dose for Moderna after 28 days. Now, a lot of people might assume that just because they got the vaccine, especially if they got the second dose already, they are immune to it and they are safe, and they will not transmit to other people. That is not true. We still have to do studies, and scientists are working on it to find out, can you still transmit the disease even though you might be immune to it? So you might be close to a person who had the coronavirus. You might not actually have any symptoms or might not actually get it, but can you still transmit to other people who you see after you are exposed to coronavirus? So that studies are still not complete yet. So we still have to wait for that. So you still have to be really careful, and you still have to take precaution around people who are in older age and also whose immune system is not as strong. We also need to talk about how long it takes for you to actually have immunity. We saw an incident where a nurse was given Pfizer vaccine. After 1 week, the nurse tested positive for coronavirus. So we definitely know that within 7 days you can still get it. And also the fact that it's only 94-95% effective, it means that there will be some people who will not be immune to it after taking the vaccine. You might be that 5%. So we have to be really careful. So should you be wearing masks? I think you should definitely be wearing masks, and you should definitely be staying away from people who have the coronavirus. You shouldn't be in small places without masks with other people. You shouldn't be traveling out of country, especially where you might be exposed to the new strain of virus that we saw in United Kingdom and South Africa and Brazil now. There's also investigation being done in the United States that there might be a different strain of coronavirus spreading in the United States that was originated from the United States. So we have 4 different types of strain right now. So we have to be really, really careful. There's also investigation being done if Pfizer and Moderna and the other vaccines are actually going to fight against these new strains. If they're going to be able to protect you the same way that the original strain is going to. So that's still all being investigated. So yes, you have the vaccine. Yes, you should have immunity, but that doesn't mean that you're immune to the new strain of the virus. Doesn't mean that you will not transmit to other people. And if not enough time have passed since your vaccine dose, you might actually still be able to get it. So. And there's about 5%, 6% chance that you might get the virus anyway, and the vaccine might not work for you. So please make sure that you take the same precaution. We have to have substantial amount of people get the vaccine and have the immunity before we really have the we have to really be able to go back to the normal life we had before coronavirus. So this video is basically just to talk about that, just to make sure that you don't, all of a sudden stop caring about taking precautions and stop worrying about other people. You still have to be really cautious. So we have to wait for all these studies to come out, and I think that's what we should do.